Hi, my name is Gibson, and I'm the creator of the Personal Development School. This is your daily breakthrough video. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about jealousy being experienced as a fearful, avoidant, or disorganized attachment style. So this is a topic that I find to be sometimes like a little bit, not like taboo per se, a little bit taboo in a way, but it's almost like people experiencing jealousy. It's like, oh, you're that person who experiences jealousy. You're insecure or needy or weak or whatever it might be. And that really couldn't be further from the truth. Like jealousy in and of itself is essentially a trauma response. It's like whatever core wounds or experiences you have linked to like abandonment, betrayal, feeling unworthy, not mattering, these sorts of things. These are often activated and triggered by feeling like you have an attachment figure in your life, your relationship, your romantic partner, and that person is like hurting you in some form. That the attachment is being threatened. And so when that attachment is threatened, it actually dates back to like our relationships to our caregivers. And when those attachment bonds were threatened, and those experiences that we felt are stored subconsciously in like a little filing cabinet. And then when something is a catalyst for that in our adult lives, all of those stored emotions sort of get opened up out of that filing cabinet and kind of come shooting out. And so different attachment styles will experience those things differently because they have different core wounds that make those associations very particular and specific to each attachment style. So that is a huge part of what creates jealousy. The other part too is just like unmet needs. And it's not the creator of jealousy per se, but it's what I do find is that it has a major impact on jealousy. So for example, I would see clients in my practice where something that would happen one week would have a totally different impact than something very similar happening a week later, based on the quality of connection between the couples that took place throughout that course of the week. So for example, let's say that one week the couple was being extremely present with each other, very bonded, very connected. And then somebody comes along that flirts with one of the partners in the relationship in that couple. You know, if there was already this strong connection and bond throughout the past recent days, even somebody who might naturally be jealous and has a jealous streak would be virtually unaffected. But then a week later, maybe something even smaller happens. But if there wasn't a lot of presence and connection and one or both parties were feeling insecure about the relationship, then that would have a much different impact. So based on the quality of the attachment, I find that there's also an impact of how strong jealousy can become. Now, fearful avoidants tend to experience jealousy in a certain way. Their core wounds that get activated by a threat to their attachment partnership or bond, or perceived threat at least, they tend to be, I will be betrayed, I will be abandoned, I will be rejected, I am unworthy is a big one, and I don't matter. And so when they feel like there's a threat to something, this can be really, really painful. They can get really hurt. And the actual response will take place in a variety of ways. The most common response for a fearful avoidant who's not working on themselves and isn't aware of some of these things is that they don't even want to let the other party know that they feel jealous, because they think that that's almost like them admitting that they care too much and they don't want to show that. And so they will pretend they're not jealous, but then that really strong emotion that they're feeling around the threat, because there's really painful core wounds usually attached to that from past experiences and challenges in relationship dynamics and their attachments in childhood, that's going to come out in some other form. And so what we'll often see instead is that they'll pretend like they're not jealous, pretend they're not feeling too much. And then an hour later, they'll get really angry about the cupboard being left open, or really push somebody away over something small that is the excuse to deal with all the emotion that they're feeling around a situation, because there's sort of like an emotional storm going on inside of them related to what was actually upsetting them to begin with. And that's a really painful thing to feel. Like that's a really, really challenging way of dealing with situations when really it can be resolved in a much healthier manner. And we'll talk about that in just a moment at a high level. Now, sometimes as well, we'll just see fearful avoidants be able to shut down so hard that they can just shut down and almost like ice people out just to protect themselves as well. And sometimes as well, they'll actually be actively angry and hurt about the situation and express directly. So we'll see different variations in how the fearful avoidant tends to express, but usually they're experiencing the feelings through those core wounds and the emotions attached to them can be quite strong and intensive for fearful avoidance. Now, to a certain degree, fearful avoidance will generally associate jealousy with like a weakness, and I can't show the person I care about them because they might think I'm needy, or they might think that they can take advantage of me, or all these sorts of different things. So there's a certain denial of the jealousy overtly expressed, but usually the fearful avoidance is pretty clear that they are feeling upset about the situation internally. Now, in a healthy form, what we try to do when we resolve jealousy is we try to identify the needs, and we try to express, hey, I need reassurance, or we try to identify the boundaries and say, hey, that behavior isn't okay with me. Now, that's a much broader topic, and that's something we can put in a second series if you guys want to sort of dig into this topic more. We also have an entire course on this inside PDS that you can check out for free for 7 days by clicking the link below. Which it's called the Rebuilding Trust and Overcoming Jealousy course. And there's actually some somatic exercises to help process out the strong emotion linked to jealousy and some of the trauma responses connected to it. But a really good place to just sort of start by thinking is, what do I need and what are my boundaries here? And because fearful avoidance generally aren't the best at their boundaries to begin with, it can almost be like something that magnifies jealousy because you feel like you can't even communicate about how you're feeling or what you're needing or what your boundary is. And that's such an important first step to be able to take. So if you want to do a deeper dive, check out that course. If you want to see more on this topic, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a member of this channel and community and commenting and liking and doing all of that stuff all the time. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in tomorrow's video.